Bravo, Mozart. That was heard less and less in Vienna, but all the louder in Prague. And even nowadays, Prague is the secret Mozart city, where strangely enough, people are not so much admirers of the child prodigy, but they love the music.
Here they talk about nothing but Figaro. They play, blow, sing, whistle, nothing but Figaro. No other opera is attended but Figaro, and Figaro forever. It is indeed a great honor for me.
On October the 4th, 1787, Mozart returned to Prague to complete the composition of Don Giovanni. In the 10 years following its first performance, Don Giovanni was performed 116 times in Prague alone. Nowadays, Mozart's compositions do, of course, guarantee full houses and high revenues, or so one might think.
You know, the really funny thing is that Mozart is not such a cash cow. I don't mean the 5 or 6 famous operas. They're okay. The De Ponte operas, Die Zauberflöte and Idomeneo, that is already a borderline case. People always want to hear what they already know. In the meantime, they are familiar with Brahms' symphonies, the Mahler symphonies, and the Beethoven symphonies. Mozart symphonies are not so well known, apart from the last 3. And if you need cash for a great hall, and it is always the large halls that have to be filled, a Mozart concert is not so favorable. It is better to play a symphony by Bruckner or Mahler. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
Dann ist ein Mozartabend nicht so günstig. Dann soll man lieber eine Bruckner-Symphonie spielen oder eine Mahler-Symphonie. Es ist leider so.
Così fan tutti, first performed on January the 29th, 1790 in the Burgtheater in Vienna, was presented another 14 times. Not enough to describe it as a great success with audiences and a flop compared with the opera successes in Prague. In the same year, Mozart's most important patron, Emperor Joseph II, died. If we're to speak of a decline in Mozart's fortunes, then this period certainly marked a change. Not financially, because in the last 2 years of his life, Mozart earned more than ever before. Nevertheless, there is evidence of a rapid worsening of his life circumstances in this period. Leopold II, brother of the deceased emperor, became his successor. The new emperor travelled to Frankfurt for the coronation ceremony, accompanied by the entourage of artists. Every eminent composer was among the invited guests. Only Mozart was not. He travelled by private coach and at his own expense. The stay in Frankfurt was a sobering experience. He had more or less no income, and he was not commissioned to compose anything for Leopold II's coronation ceremony. In the year of his death, Mozart composed 2 more operas. La Clemenza di Tito, composed for Leopold's coronation as King of Bohemia in Prague, was not well received by the emperor and his wife. Finally, for Emanuel Schikaneder's theatre in the Viennese suburbs, Mozart composed the most famous and most well-known opera of all time. In the suburban district of Leopoldstadt, Die Zauberflöte became the crowning glory of his oeuvre even during Mozart's lifetime. For one more time, the composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was given the attention and honor we nowadays take for granted. Who today thinks of Mozart as a composer who had to take on commissions for music boxes and mechanical organs in order to try and reduce his mountain of debts? During the last weeks of his life, Mozart composed like a man obsessed, as if he were aware of the fact that he only had a short time left to be creative. His final composition, the Requiem, veiled in mystery because of the strange circumstances under which it was composed, also led to the rise of many legends. Nowadays we like to indulge in investigating the myths, but this preoccupation brings us no nearer to answering the question, Wolfgang, who were you really? Entry in the death register on December the 6th, 1791, one day after Mozart's death.
Mozart, 3rd class, Parish of St. Stephen. Mr. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, imperial and royal conductor and chamber composer, died in the Rauchsteingasse in the small imperial house, number 970, of a feverish chill at the age of 36. St. Mark's Cemetery, 8 florins, 56 cents paid.
So entfliehen des Lebens schönste Stunden, fliehen vorüber wie im Tanz. Bald entflieht des Lebens bunte Szene und der Vorhang rollt herab. Aus ist unser Spiel, des Freundes Träne fließet schon auf unser Grab. Bald vielleicht mir weht wie Westwind leise eine stille Ahnung zu, schließ ich dieses Lebens Pilgerreise, fliege in das Land der Ruhe.
We do not know whether Mozart ever visited the small town of Volterra in Tuscany, Italy, during his extended journeys, or even whether he ever gave a concert there. However, there is a significant link between the medieval jewel of a city and our image of Mozart. In a small factory on the outskirts of the city, besides a great number of other great immortals of history, portraits of Wolfgang Mozart are moulded in alabaster. The small busts of Mozart are exported all over the world, much to the annoyance of the Mozart purists. And despite the constant efforts of experts and biographers to reveal new details from the darkness of history, to come nearer to the alleged truth about Herr Mozart, the carefully fostered cliché variations about the child prodigy do indeed seem to be good for one thing. Mozart's music is recognized and liked by over 50% of our society. This is an astonishing result if we bear in mind how unreceptive people can otherwise be towards art. And perhaps we should respect the fact that the silver-grey powdered wig of little Wolfgang often opens up the gates in a very simple way into the mysterious realm of Mozart's music. Could we wish for anything more?